guys, and welcome back to Bookhaven with me, Kim. Today I'll be talking about my TBR to be read list for March of 2019, so stick around. So this month I will be continuing 4 books that I did not finish in the month of February, 2 other physical books, and 4 audiobooks. Fingers crossed. February was a total write-off. I had a huge book reading slump. I couldn't get into anything, even though I have so many books that I know are great stories that I'm gonna love, but I just couldn't pick them up. So I have 4 stories, 4 books left over from February that I have to finish, so I'll just show you which ones quickly because I've already described them in last month's video. First off, I've got A Tear in the Ocean by H.M. Vaman. It's a companion novel to A Crack in the Sea, which I really enjoyed and did a full review on. If you want to check in the description box down below, I'll leave a link. This I don't know much about. All I know is that I absolutely love the author's book, A Crack in the Sea. I'm really looking forward to getting back into this author's world, so hopefully this will come up probably in one of my first reads for this month. Then I'll be continuing A Snicker of Magic by Natalie Lloyd. This is something I started in February and I only made about a quarter of the way through, so that should be a quick read though once I get into it. Then I have to finish my buddy read from February, which I'm so sorry, Justin, I'm almost done. That is The Raven Master by Christopher Scaife. It has been very slow going for me. I don't think Justin and I really quite enjoyed this book as much as we thought we would, but I'm not done yet, so I don't know, maybe there's still hope. This is the next book I'll be continuing from my February TBR into March. And last but not least, for my continuations from my February pile is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, and I'm really enjoying this. I just left it to last minute in February. I'm over halfway through already and absolutely loving it. I know that Crooked Kingdom is next in the duology, and I had a spoiler for it on Twitter the other day, which really sucked, but it's not taking away from the story. I'm still enjoying it quite a bit. Fresh up on my TBR for the month of March is Deep Cosmos by Project Kyle. Now, Project Kyle is another booktuber and a great friend of mine through BookTube here, and he has written this book, and I was really lucky to find a copy on Amazon and order it. It's science fiction, which I'm really hoping to expand my horizons this year and read a little bit more of. I'll read you the back to give you an idea a little bit about what it's about. Protect your sanity at all costs. These were the last words spoken to David, a young survivor of the Cosmic 5 tragedy, before he found himself fleeing for his life and seeking refuge in a galaxy filled with danger, mystery, and suspense. Hiding behind the mask of a nerdy space explorer, David recruits a young warrior woman and a self-obsessed space bug as crew members to join him on his galactic adventures, hoping to lay low to avoid any unwanted attention. But after the galaxy is threatened by a criminal mastermind with a lust for human life, David and his team must come out of the shadows and put an end to this menace before he can drive humanity to extinction. Can David and his companions survive the challenges that lie ahead, or will they crumble into the never-ending void of the deep cosmos? Dun, dun, dun. So this is going to be a fun read. I know I've already listened to the first 2 chapters. Kyle had read them on his BookTube page, and I thought it was so much fun, and I'm really looking forward to continuing this month. If you're interested in knowing more about Project Kyle or any of his books, I'll add a link in the description down below. Next up, I've got a book that I have been wanting to read forever and just have not got around to it. I've been adoring it on my TBR, on my bookshelves for quite a while, and I was so excited to find out my girl JT from JT Feliciano had it on her TBR as well, so we're going to buddy read this book this month together, and I can't remember much about it. It won the John Newbery Medal, and I've heard so many good things through people on BookTube, just absolutely loving this book. It's supposed to be really unique. I know there's a witch in it, and that's enough for me. I love anything with witches and fantasy, so this will definitely be read in the month of March because it was one of my goals this year to do a buddy read with JT, so let's get this done. Next, I was hoping you guys might be able to help me pick my final physical read for the month of March. I'm not going to try and overdo it this month. I know there's a lot of things going on in the booktube world, but it's also a bit of a crazy month for me as well with work. So it's between these two books. I really want to read both of them. First one is called The Monk of Mocha by Dave Eggers. This is about a young Yemeni man who has been raised in San Francisco, and he sort of dreams of bringing back the art of Yemeni coffee back and bringing back the history and having people know just how coffee can be traced back to Yemen. But he gets caught in the crosshairs of the civil war going on in the country at the time when he's trying to bring all this about. I've already read about a quarter of it months and months ago, and I absolutely loved it. I love the writing, I love the story, and I've just developed appreciation for coffee within the last year, so I'm finding this even more interesting. Now, this is my first pick of the two. If anyone has read this, I'd love to hear your opinion, and if you think this should be at the top of my TBR of the two choices, let me know. Then I've got The Queen of Blood by Sarah Beth Durst, and this is an author. I have quite a few of her works. She has a really popular middle grade fantasy collection, and this is, I'm not sure if it's YA or adult fantasy, doesn't really matter, I love both. But it has something to do with spirits and the forest, and that's what really drew this to me when I found this in a bargain bin quite a while ago. And I know Sarah Beth Durst is coming out with a new book sometime this spring, which will make it on my TBR top books of 2019, which will be coming out sometime in the next couple of weeks. So I really want to test out one of her books that have been well rated. As I mentioned, I don't remember a whole lot about this other than spirits and nature. I think I found it one day when I was looking for something fantasy related that very nature based. So again, if you've read this, if you think this should trump my book about Yemeni coffee, let me know. But I know for sure I'm enjoying The Monk of Mocha, and I know for sure I'll enjoy this one. So if anyone has any experience with either of them, let me know. Then I've got 4 audiobooks on the go. One called 8 Mountains by Paolo Cognetti, which takes place in Italy. I'm only a couple chapters in, and I just know it really is centric around friendship and these boys growing up living around the mountains. And I love hiking, I love mountains, that's what drew me to it, and I'm really enjoying the writing so far. It's almost meditative, it's just so calming. And next I've got the audiobook that I'm finishing with my husband, which is On the Shoulders of Titans by Andrew Rowe. I think we're probably halfway through it by now, if not more, and it's been a really fun ride, but we just have to find the time together to finish it off. The next one I'm getting a pretty funny look from my husband for. I've been listening to Pippi Longstocking by Astrid Lindgren. Pippi Longstocking is something that is always referenced in a lot of the middle grade books I read, but I've never actually watched or read anything to do with Pippi Longstocking, so I figure it's time and I'm listening to the audiobook. And last for audiobooks, I've got The Mountains Rise by Michael G. Manning, and this is an audiobook that I know nothing about. I found it while searching Goodreads and Googling books that have to do with rainforest or forests. I just really wanted a fantasy, again, that was nature-based, and I saw this book recommended many, many times. It had really good ratings, so I listened to a little blurb on Audible, and the narrator just captured my heart. Like, it sounds amazing. I've got 18 hours of driving ahead of me this week, so I think I can put a really good dent in my audiobook selections. As always, I'm really curious to hear what you guys are reading this month and what challenges, if any, you're taking part of in the booktube community. And if you want to help me pick between those 2 books, that would be a great help because I'm very torn. I want to read both, but I know I won't have the time. And I want to keep my TBR a little bit vague from now on because every time I set the goals, I always fall short. So I figure I just like to keep it a little bit more open and follow my whims and my moods and pick up whatever books I feel like when I feel like. So thanks for sticking around. If this is your first time and you like what you heard, hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, keep reading, guys. Bye.